The makers of the game Concord, a $400 million loss for Sony, they are no more. Firewalk Studios have been walked out the door. Sony, PlayStation deciding they don't deserve to exist anymore. It is the latest destruction brought to you by Camp DEI, and today we'll tell you why it's not looking good for those who want to propagandize the gaming industry. Hello folks, happy day and welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we continue to give you the best news and let you know that logic and truth and empathy, they're winning. You're winning. Average everyday Americans and folks around the globe are winning. And it turns out that when you try to trick people into buying games that are all about going woke, well, it's no joke. People head for the doors, and that's no good. Today, we're talking about Concord. But we could be talking about Dustborn. We could be talking about Dragon Age. We could be talking about Star Wars Outlaws. It's all the same. Failure, failure, flop, flop. Why is it not hot? Well, because there's a very niche sort of viewpoint, ideology that is infecting the games we once loved. And it's coming for Halo. Today, we'll tell you why game studios and corporations should not say hello to anybody trying to corrupt their interactive entertainment anymore. All right, folks, this is just landing on the Pro News desk. Here's what we've got. This is out of The Verge, and it is now taking over the internet. Sony closes Concord Studio and permanently shuts down the game. Firewalk Studios will be shutting down alongside mobile game developer Neon Koi. In other words, losing $400 million on a DEI project is not something Sony is interested in ever doing again. Guys, we started this show relatively with some Sweet Baby stuff. Is Concord a game that Sweet Baby was involved in?
No.
I don't think so.
But it's, in terms of flavor, it's similar to what we would expect, right?
Right. And
Yes.
This is what we've been kind of talking about. Like Sweet Baby Inc. is a symptom, right? It's not part of the main problem, because a lot of the issues with Sweet Baby Inc., pushing the woke ideology, changing the characters, pushing all the cringe dialogue, it is being institutionalized at these developers who are, in fact, hiring Sweet Baby to push all that stuff into their games. So it all kind of starts with these developers.
Well,
Right.
and you know, Sweet Baby is only one of many narrative design firms out there. I mean, there's so many others. They're just the most well known because they facilitated one of the biggest falls from grace we've ever seen in the Squad Kill the Justice League, going from the Arkham series to that.
And guys, we'll go ahead and read the article so people can understand. This is by Tom Warren. As we do, we want to clarify, as so often we do in these sorts of situations, we take no joy in people losing their jobs. And we know that there are a lot of innocent people who probably worked at these studios who made no decisions about what the game was going to be like. They had no creative input. They're the janitor. They're the person who does security for third shift. They're the person who makes sure that the servers are secure. They don't have anything to do with this. They're just doing their job. And we deeply feel for those individuals. And there's
also people at these studios that are going to call you a talentless freak too. So
right. But it's sad that the decision makers put so many people and their livelihoods at risk. And that's very unfortunate. Here's the article. Sony is closing Firewalk Studios, the studio behind its PlayStation Concord game that it took offline last month after a disastrous launch. And there was some thought that they would retool this thing because of how much money's invested. That's why this is such big news. $400 million. Many people, including myself, believed that they would do some work on this, relaunch it next year, maybe change the moniker, maybe change the style, but you just couldn't lose this kind of money. That's not the case. In a message to PlayStation staff, Herman Holst, CEO of the PlayStation Studio Business Group, says Firewalk Studios will close alongside Neon Koi, a mobile game studio. We have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options, he says. After much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. Oh, and please don't cost us $400 million more. Hulse says Concord didn't hit Sony's targets. Oh, that's an understatement. And that the PlayStation maker will take the lessons learned from Concord and continue to advance our live service capabilities and deliver future growth in this area. So, folks, that is the end of what was supposed to be the next Overwatch. 25,000 purchases of the game, 697 peak on Steam for a game that had a cost of $400 million and was likely intended to have a decade lifespan. And probably they wanted millions and millions and millions of consumers. They got 25,000. It's a huge loss. Panel, your thoughts on this one as we get ready to go to coverage of this, by the way, on that game place where this is probably now their breaking news lead story. Go ahead, guys.
Well, I think that it's very interesting because recently on X, there was a lot of people that were starting to fly around the ideas like, oh, they're gearing up to relaunch Concord. It's coming back. Get ready, chuds, because, it was only gone for a few weeks. And now all of a sudden, boom, no more studio, no more Concord. So that just goes to show where the opinions of the actual gaming industry are. And let's hope a lesson can be learned from this. I'm sure it won't, but at the end of the day, this is an epic failure. I mean, this was a game that was supposed to go on and on for years. It was supposed to be a Fortnite contender. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest failures in the history of gaming. Right, John?
Yeah, I think Marvin's point there about whether or not they learn the lesson is going to be the biggest storyline for this. Will they continue to do what they are doing? What lesson will they actually learn from this? Will they realize that this kind of DEI agenda, these ugly character designs, the promotion of the ideology that they did indeed have in this game with the pronouns, with some of the character creator, the people they hired to voice some of these characters, the stuff that they were going to be doing with the vignettes, etc. Will they realize that this is why this game failed? Will they think that it had to do with the genre that it was in, with the Overwatch, etc.? What will be the lessons that they learn from this, or will they double down? Basically, what I'm hearing from Herman Holtz is it does not seem like they are going to learn the lessons that they should be learning and that they are going to be doubling down on this. We know that they already have some games already in kind of the works that are going to be very similar to this. What is that one called? It's like...
why are they designing games, John, for a very small demographic located in Portland and Seattle?
If you did an article yesterday, Monica Harris, former Disney executive, she obviously speculates that it has to do with a lot of these investment firms that they have their agenda, and if you don't basically kowtow to what they want to do, they're going to pull your funding, etc.
It's an anti-economic agenda. Like, what's the point? Depravity?
So I think it's obviously, I mean, you listen to Larry Fink in that 2017 interview, he tells you what the point is. He's like, we have to force behaviors and we have to change the way people act. I mean, he's very clear about what he wants to do. So if you take him at his word, that's what they want to do. And they're going to use
they're anti-human, John. And I know you feel the same way. They're anti-human. They want people to make decisions that are not pro-human. They're not pro-family. They're not pro-positive relationships. They're pro-depravity. It's hedonistic. It's nonstop hedonistic, and it's not. It doesn't move anybody in a positive direction, in my estimation. And so, at least the market is still condemning it. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for Main Street.
I 100% agree. I like to cite novelist Brian Niemeyer. He describes it as a death cult, basically defining it as just how you defined it. And just kind of sums it up like that, because that is exactly what they aim to do. It is anti-human. Yeah. They want to basically destroy you, whether that is physically, emotionally, spiritually. That is their goal.
Right. We have to stand for it. People on the planet, and then they volunteer you up to be the first of the ones to fix the problem.
Well, you say what is the you're creating a hundreds of millions of dollars game for areas like Portland and Seattle because they think that's the world. The people that live in that
made up of people who look like they've got shrapnel in their face. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, the people that live in that Hollywood bubble, which extends to AAA gaming at this point, they think that West Coast United States, that is the entire world, or at least that's the entire United States. They don't realize, they still think that it's like, we're the majority, this is the thing that will sell. The people that are being angry about it are just, a bunch of, haters who let them boycott. It's not going to affect us. Well, now look at yourselves. Look at what happened. Gamers are the most unforgiving audience when it comes to this kind of thing. More so than TV, more so than movies. We've seen the gaming, market shift so drastically in such a short amount of time, way longer than it took people to start abandoning things at Disney like Star Wars and Marvel. Gamers start to see this stuff and they pay more attention to this kind of thing. And when something like this comes up, they're just like, absolutely not. You're not getting my money.
You bet. And the gaming industry, as we've said so many times before, something like 13 times the economic impact as the film industry. So go ahead, Microsoft, send Halo down this same path and see how that goes. It's your plasma grenade to play with, but you have at it. Guys, let's get the super chat up on this. Go ahead, John, finished it out.
Yeah, I just want to counter Marvin on one point. I actually think these people know exactly what they're doing. I think they know exactly that they are not the popular people, but they want to either indoctrinate you into that so that they are indeed so you do indeed become that. They want to basically brainwash you so you become like them. And then if you obviously aren't, they want to humiliate you and say, we have the power, you no longer do, but we're going to show you that we have the power. And you're going to continue to play the things that we are now in control of, whether you like it or not. So I think those are kind of the two ways that they look at this.
You know what, John? I see the logic in that. You're absolutely right.
All right, guys, let's get to the super
chat. And they
chat.
admit it. I mean, Matt Walsh has the whole documentary. There's a scene in the dining room table where the woman is literally admitting what diversity really is.
Yeah, I recommend everybody go check out the video. It's fantastic, or the movie. It's fantastic. And put another one in the can, folks. A video of excellence has been birthed into existence, and you were there to witness it. Thank you for participating. We hope you had a good time. Folks, it's a great time anytime we get to share time with you, and we mean it. The only thing additional we ask, on the way out the door, consider clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below, and oh, by the way, if you would be so kind, perhaps share this out on your favorite social media platforms. Folks, we've got all kinds of content coming your way. If you are interested in going even beyond all of that, well, there's a Pro Store, and you can always find those items directly below the video you're watching. The Pro Store, it's a cool place to check out for items that, well, definitely Disney and the rest are not going to sell you, but we're happy to do so. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.